Oh, hi, Mark. You know, the lighting in here makes me look like I'm an angel. Look at this. I have my own glow. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah, it's terrible. But unfortunately, I'm operating with a different lighting situation than before, so we're using the natural light of the window that my phone is propped up against in order to light the video. Because believe you me, you don't want the light on. What's that? You want to see what it looks like with the light on? Okay. Okay. You've been warned. Hold on. And that's why the light's not on. Sorry. Sorry. We're gonna have to make do with this right now. Um, the phone's on the charger, otherwise I'd just record in the other room. But it is what it is. Phone's on the charger, charger's in the wall. I'm not moving my phone charger because I'm just that lazy. Let the Right One In is a vampire film from, I don't know, Poland? Sweden? What are you? It's definitely one of those countries. For sure. I don't know. It's a European vampire film, and I just watched this film for the first time. I've never actually seen Let the Right One In. I have seen Let Me In, the American remake. Um, so it's very similar to the American remake, or the American remake is very similar to Let the Right One In. That being said, I would say that the performances are a lot better in like Let the Right One In. Um, I think I think everyone in this movie is just fantastic. Both the child actors are phenomenal. Well, the main two child actors. There's multiple in this movie, but the main two are phenomenal. They're amazing. And oh my god, the movie's beautiful. I mean, visually, it's absolutely beautiful. All the freaking shots, everything. The cold winter atmosphere. It's all wonderful. And it's also very creepy. There are a few shots where the vampire's eyes glow like an animal's, like an animal's reflecting in headlights. That was really cool. And it was really creepy. Now, oh yeah, and this movie also explores something that I really love, which is how easy a child vampire would have it. Because I think it's towards the beginning or maybe the middle of the film where she's under a bridge and she lures someone under the bridge just by pretending to be injured. And she's a child, so you believe her because what's the kid gonna do? you know? It's a kid. Um, and so it's very easy in that way. And that's also what makes it super creepy. She's a kid. You believe her. You know, you don't expect a kid to drain you of your blood. That's well, to be fair, you don't really expect an adult to do that. Like in polite society, we don't just walk up to each other every day and go, "Now, Frank, you tried to drain me of my blood last week, and I'm not gonna have that shit this week." Okay? I let it slide then. Okay? And your cousin Jimmy, he tried that shit too. My cousin Jimmy, I know he tried that on your cousin Jimmy, but we can't just be draining each other's blood all the time. We got to draw the line somewhere, all right? Try to contain it to once a week. Now, I understand that that's not exactly how society works for adults either, but I mean, you especially wouldn't expect it out of a child. Um, but yeah, she's very creepy. The main vampire, very creepy. Still don't think she's as creepy. And of course, she's humanized quite a bit, so obviously she's not going to be as creepy as some other movie vampires. They're just kind of mindless killing machines or portrayed to be pure evil. This particular vampire is kind of a human being. This movie basically does what Twilight tried to do, except it's a good movie. So there's that. Yeah. Um, and it's about small children, which, you know, I do have a bit of a problem with, actually. There are parts of this movie that are really uncomfortable to watch. I mean, really uncomfortable. Because kids, movie or not, fiction or not, it shouldn't be in those situations. And I'm not talking about like dangerous situations, like the killing and stuff. I don't have an issue with that, which is that's really funny to hear me say. But I mean, in the context of a film, children dying, that's not an issue. In my opinion, that's a ballsy move. That being said, this film does something that I'm really not a fan of, and it more or less sexualizes uh, the two main characters to varying degrees. And it's really uncomfortable. And it shouldn't be in the movie. It shouldn't be in the movie. It so shouldn't be in the movie. Because it feels like you're watching. So, alright. So as to not be super crude. Actually, it's not even really crude. It's more so just that if I vocalize that, I'd be making me uncomfortable. Alright, so it's a lot of the time in this movie, when you're watching a Quentin Tarantino movie, and I think you know where I'm going with this, and a pair of feet pops up into frame, and you're like, yep, there's Quentin Tarantino's weird foot fetish again. Yeah, that's what it feels like. But not with feet, if you get my drift. And I really hate that. I really hate that. Now, do I think that's what it is? No, I don't. I don't think that's what it is. I don't think this director is some kind of monster pedo. I don't think that of the director. I'm telling you that's what it feels like, and it's really gross. Sorry, not sorry. I prefer not to have children shown in that light in my films. Call me a monster. Call me crazy. I know. It's wild. Crazy day. But the romance aspect I have no issue with. When it's being cutesy patootsy pie romance movie is what it is, man. That's what this movie sets out to do, is be a little cutesy patootsy pie romance movie, but with vampires. And the vampire's a kid, and she's found someone to identify with, because there's another kid on the block new kid on the block in the apartment complex that she's living in now, that she can identify with, because this kid is also a social outcast. And that's fine. That part I don't have an issue with. It's just every once in a while, this movie feels like it has some really, really uncomfortable undertones. And even some of the stuff with God knows how old the vampire is and a 12-year-old. That's kind of a gross little subtext, honestly. Now, I'm pretty sure it's trying to portray this as this vampire still has the mind of a 12-year-old too, so it's fine. It is what it is. It's just two 12-year-olds having a little cutesy patootsy pie romance. But of course it goes a little further than that. I don't like it. I'm just saying. Call me crazy. It makes me uncomfortable, alright? But other than that, this movie's really great. And she teaches him how to stick up for himself against the bullies, and he splits this kid's ear open. Oh god, that looked like it hurt. Just starts gushing blood out of there. And of course the ending is great if you're familiar with this movie. I'm not gonna spoil it. If you're not, don't worry. I do recommend you watch this movie, unless you're made a little too uncomfortable by the what I was talking about earlier. God knows I was. I was like, God, I don't know, man. There's too much of this. There is too damn much. Way too much in there. And, I mean, there shouldn't be any, but there's too much. Yeah, it was creepy. Not in a good way. But, again, it is creepy in a good way. A lot of the time, it's very bloody, very gory, very violent. All the vampire stuff is great. there is a scene where a vampire gets exposed to sunlight. That's sick. Well, there's a couple, but I mean like full on exposed to sunlight. You get to see what happens when the vampire gets exposed to sunlight, and that is what I prefer to happen. You know, a lot of vampires are just kind of drained in the sunlight, or you know, it'll sizzle them a little, or you know, this is possibly the coolest vampire in sunlight effect from a movie that I've seen. Really cool. I don't remember that in Let Me In. Then again, it's been years since I've seen Let Me In. I do own it, but I haven't seen it. It's like middle school. Yeah, I want to say it's got to be like middle school at this point. But guys, at the end of the day, Let the Right One In. Fantastic movie. It is. It's a fantastic movie. I'm not gonna argue that. It's really creepy at spots. It's really sweet at spots. But I'm a little creeped out by some of the subtext in there. And that's really unfortunate, because that's a movie that I could have loved. I mean, I could have been head over heels for this movie. This could have been a movie that I watch every single year. Now, because of some of the subtext and stuff in there, I don't think I'm gonna watch it very often at all, if ever again. Honestly, it'll still marinate in my collection just in case one day I feel the need to watch it again. Because make no mistake, this is a great movie. It gets really creepy at spots. It's really sweet at spots. You know, it's a coming of age story with a vampire in it, and I think that's pretty awesome. But at the end of the day, I think Let the Right One In is gonna get a 9 out of 10. A solid 9 out of 10. And the one point I take off is for the weird subtext. I think we could have gone without that entirely. I don't think it needed to be in the film. I think it's creepy that you put it in the film, dude. What's your name? Thomas Alfredson. I didn't know Alfredson was the last name. It's creepy. Put it in the film, Thomas Alfredson. But you know, I get it. I'm sure it was just, you know, an artistic vision. I'm not throwing shade at Thomas Alfredson. I like to mention the names of the directors when I review a film. I had no idea what his name was at the beginning. Anyway, he made a pretty bitchin' movie though. Yeah, so I'm just gonna get a 9 out of 10. It's been a while, guys. Sorry about that. I was gonna review Madman in the beginning of November, and I actually filmed the entirety of the Madman review, and then I got interrupted in the middle of filming the Madman review, and then I ranted at the camera about the interruption for a little bit and about the nature of the interruption, and I was really pissed off towards the end of the review, so I didn't post it. The second half of November, I was gonna post a Blood Rage review. That didn't happen. That one was just out of laziness. I didn't even watch Blood Rage, which is crazy. I normally at least watch Blood Rage around Thanksgiving time. I was actually going to upload that on Thanksgiving. I was going to upload my Blood Rage review. That didn't happen either because I'm a lazy sack of shit. But, you know, I just watched Let the Right One In, and I just kind of figured, you know, it's snowy in this movie. I don't know what month this takes place in, but I guess that's a pretty good December review, right? I plan, fingers crossed I'm not too lazy. I just got a new job, guys, and my days are gonna be pretty busy at this point in my life. So I don't know, but hopefully I'll have the energy to record a couple of Christmas horror reviews. I'm thinking maybe Santa's Sleigh. Yeah. Man, I got a couple other Christmas horror movies too. I just bought a movie called Wind Chill. Don't know if that's any good yet. So maybe I'll check that out and let you guys know. But if you have any Christmas horror suggestions, drop them in the comments down there. always open to some new Christmas horror movies. Or if you want me to review a Christmas horror movie. Because, hey guys, I don't got nothing better to do. Okay, I probably do. That's probably a lie. But as far as YouTube goes, I don't have plans, guys. I don't have no plans. Do I look like a man with a plan? I'm like a dog chasing cars. I just do things. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. You know, so, yeah, just suggest something down there. If you have a specific Christmas horror movie that you're like, you know what, no one else is gonna review this, so let's pick the fat guy with the YouTube channel that nobody watches, who hasn't shaved in weeks. Let's pick that guy to review it because he's the only one that'll take my suggestion. All right. Anyway, guys, this has gone on way too long. The review ended like 5 minutes ago. I will talk to you guys on the next one.